okay, let's say in negative ways, I yeah, the first year of COVID, I gained a lot of weight. It was very unhealthy because I must say I was moving way less,
Mhm.
uh, but it was like yeah, obvious. Like I used to work to a bus and then to another station, my bike and so on. So I had, even if I wouldn't do exercise, I had an hour of walking
Okay.
and moving. So that was not there. So healthy wise, I became very much stressed
Okay.
because we had our son at home,
Mhm.
and my husband is also full-time worker, so we had to balance everything. So it was pretty much like changing from one topic to the next one.
Mhm.
So I have the feeling that I have also in my mind all the time that there was COVID, that we don't get it. So I felt very, very, very stressed, and I could even reflect it on my skin,
Okay.
on my weight, and so on. That was during the first year, and the next year things got, well, I was aware of that, and I did a lot of changes.
Okay. Okay.
So then it came. I mean, the hard change was more in this sense, but the positive change was that I was able to manage my life very different.
Okay.
So the first positive thing was for me that even though we had this stress, I was very happy because I had the opportunity to be with my son 24 hours. And
Okay.
I hadn't had that since because I don't know, I finished my PhD while I was pregnant. When my son was born, I keep finishing. Then I got employed. Like I always have been very fortunate with work
Mhm.
related opportunities. So I always was sort of in a hurry, changing and so on and so forth. And now I could be a lot with my son. So that was actually I was very happy.
Okay. And how
Um,
old is he, if you don't mind me asking?
my son is 5 years old
Ah, okay.
now,
So
so
it's a
yeah,
nice age.
yes, exactly. So, but because of COVID, we found alternative ways to also match our work. My husband and I, like, we really, I was waking up earlier to work. He was also doing that sometimes. We could schedule, let's say, all our working hours in the day
Mhm.
around our son, that he
Okay.
would always be okay, that he wouldn't get apparently stressed or not paying attention to him.
Mhm.
So we found a very good fit, and until now it's working
Okay.
because, for example, my husband could show the company that he is staying at home 3-4 days a week.
Mhm.
It's very efficient, and they accept it, and alternative schedule. So actually, right now we have um, found alternative ways to work and
Okay.
keep also all the time. Our son is in the kindergarten, but
Mhm.
he's until 2, so he's not full time, so he has time to be with one of us. Like we were able to sort of match our schedules.
Okay. Okay.
Some days I'm at home and I take care of him, and so we have been able to manage. But because of this pressure, like we just knew one
Okay.
way of working,
Mhm.
and now we have discovered alternative paths.
Okay.
So
That kind of
um,
answers my second question, because it's relating to COVID-19 in relation to work-life balance and digital well-being. Um,
mhm.
if you bring in the digital aspect of it, how would you say that it was affected by the pandemic?
My life,
Work-life
like
balance and
the
digital
digital.
well-being. Yeah.
Okay. Um, well, I will have to ask you a little bit what is digital well-being.
Well, I suppose it's in terms of how you're working online and working remotely.
Okay. Well, obviously, I became way more skillful
Mhm.
digital, using a lot of other programs like Teams, Slack, using my iCloud collaboration online. Digitally, I do more cloud documents, so I print way less.
Okay.
Because I got to collaborate different, like using iCloud, because I had to share documents and I didn't do it before.
Okay.
And now I was more used to, yeah, to collaborate there. I Yeah, obviously I had to become more skillful. Also, with my teaching, I became more skillful on using an online session. and also hybrid methods, because for me it was very hard teaching entrepreneurship to shift that online, because well, it was project work and so on. So I also learned alternative paths to mix that. But I must say that I was very burnout with scheduling meetings, because I really like to come to my office, to talk to people, to interact, to take a coffee with my colleagues, to listen, to ask them how you doing and so on. And the digital world brought me a very linear life. One, I talk to you, and then I close the conversation, I talk to another, and it was very exhausted. So yeah, that I was really, but I became more efficient in managing my agenda. So I put on Mondays, I take care of teaching. On Tuesdays, I take care of Erasmus. But like, I was able to just sort of put limits in my agenda. And when I was scheduling meetings, otherwise I was just from one meeting to the next one to the next one. Yeah.
And did you receive any support to improve that, or was it something that you just did yourself? Was there any support from maybe your employer or from anybody else?
No. I mean, the only support was in terms of resources, that we could pay anything we wanted, licenses, equipment, anything it was. But in terms of really managing your time, managing your, I mean, for me, work-life balance, it doesn't exist for me. It's life. It's just in different spheres, because I have to enjoy my life where I work. So it was for me more like, no, I really just, I'm in the process of improving that, because for me, it was also coincidental that during the pandemic, I changed my positions 3 times. No, 2 times, sorry. So I finished a program with a company, like I was working for part-time in the university and part-time at a company at a directive position in international business. And the part in the company was a bit more challenging, and I decided to finalize after 3 years that in August. And then I got offered a higher position at my research center. So I had to learn fast, because I was the one who had to take care of people now. And since March, I am now the director of the science to business. So now I will be for 2 years directing, because my, Thorsten, no?
No.
Thorsten is on, Thorsten Kliebe, the professor, the director, is on paternity leave. In March. So I am going to be the director for 2 years. Yes. So I didn't have time to look up for help, but I had to learn fast to structure my teams. And I have I have mothers, I have fathers, I have people from around the world. Yeah, so I kind of had to learn that to be able to have the structure, how to keep our teams in order. Yeah.
And any other lessons, Sue, that you've learned that have helped you improve your work-life balance or digital well-being?
Well, when it comes to work-life balance, what is called work-life balance, I was very much aware of the fact that what happened to my health. So I started being more conscious and being healthy, and sneaking hours of exercise, sneaking my giving, like for example, I schedule my lunch, so I have in my agenda now by topic, so to say. So if, for example, now you come in one of my slots when it's about interaction with outside, so it's very easy for me to map what kind of activities I have to do as part of my role, which is networking and so on, and when I will give you an appointment. So if we don't talk now, maybe it would have been on Fridays where I have Erasmus research meetings or things like that. So I try to systematize that. And I also schedule my my lunch, so I know that it's blocked, that I should not trade that okay, I'm going to talk to you at that, and I stand up and work to get my lunch. And I schedule also drinking water.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because my skin was very dry because of the stress, but I also sort of have these skin problems because I come from Mexico, and Germany is very dry, and So I pretty much write it down, like to stand up, get the water and get some fresh air, and yeah. But to be honest, Samantha, I also learned that from a doctor that told
Okay.
me about the dynamics in an emergency room,
Okay.
that everything is planned, like when, like nobody has more stress than a doctor in the emergency room,
That's
but
true.
they never said they are stressed because they have everything planned, scheduled, codes, code, like, you know, like the codes, it's a 1.2, like, you know exactly the
Okay.
case and the reaction. And so the stress of not, the uncertainty should be minimized on a one decision, but 99% of the work is with codes, is programmed, so to say.
Okay.
So, and that's how I learned to put my agenda a little bit like that, like a little bit by what is my role. If my role is to be successful, what do I have to do? Attention to my team, PhD support classes, attention to students, finance in the finance, like finance meetings, interaction with companies, and I also 2 days I have it blocked until 2. I write not available, but it's pretty much because I like to pick up my son. So I wake up early, and so 2 days my husband does that. So that's why we shift.
Yes.
And so it's blocked. My agenda is blocked because I pick up my son, and then I don't take phone, but I share. Another thing I learned is that I share my agenda. I open my agenda to everybody in my team. Everybody can stick in my agenda, so they know if I'm available or not. So when I write is not available, they also should not call me, or unless it's very, very, very urgent.
That's a great tip.
But they know, but they also know why, like, I'm not available. And other than that, they know, oh, okay, she's teaching, she's in classes, or she has an open window. And it helped me a lot because they also sort of protect me. They say, oh, so I see that you have a meeting, do you want to schedule that meeting, because it would be too often, so maybe. So it is it helped me, that organization. Yeah. So
that's great
yeah,
leadership
I
to
don't.
show them. It's very open leadership.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So that is there's a really some of these strategies on how I could, yeah, a little bit keep it. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing, Sue.
But I'm still learning.
Mhm.
So I'm still in attention to things that could be improved.
Of course, of course. And it sounds like you're open to learning as well, which is great. You don't think you have the perfect model.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Thanks so
And
much.
well, one more thing.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it helps, but I also try to have in the task like a peer. Like, for example, and I have a peer, I have somebody that if I'm not there could take over that. Or by teaching, I have co-teachers. Or in finance, I am very open to how this works with my team assistant. So if I'm not here, almost anybody could catch the task, so to say, because I have like a peer, so to say. Yes, and I sort of encourage my team to do that, like have a peer. If you go on vacation, the fatretum, it's already automatically known. Sorry, the one that will cover for you.
Of course.
So there is no surprise, no, who could do it. You already know who is your peer.
That's great. So there's no gaps.
Exactly, like we tried that, but it's something that is improving also in your teaching, or if you're writing proposals. Like, for example, when we were delivering proposals on March, I got COVID, and I knew who could catch the proposal. So Aptamo and Julia right away jumped in, and they knew what was going on.